I'm glad you're ready because it's time. It's time for another episode of the Great Heavy Music Podcast. And today, doing a little bonus episode about the great band Ensiferum that seems like you might have missed out on, my friend. I think you missed the little show there, did you?
I did, yeah. I thought I already missed it because I thought they played earlier in the month up here, but actually they played a little later. I just didn't know until the brain fart. I was working anyway, but if I would have paid more attention, I could have taken off and shit. So I missed them.
Well, you missed the Finnish folk metal legends from Helsinki, Ensiferum, meaning sword bearing. These guys are fucking awesome. They were at the I saw them at the Orpheum in Tampa in March of 2025, and they opened up with their song Fatherland, and that's off their latest album, and it is pretty freaking good. But I bought the physical CD when I was there because it's kind of like a habit of mine. You know, I got that Lexus with the CD player, and I listened to it the whole way home, and this Winter Storm album really grew on me after seeing them live.
This is an excellent album. I had it on my top 10 somewhere for last year. And pretty quality, buddy. It's got a high floor, one of those kind of albums.
Some triumphant shit, and there's a lot of stuff I want to say positive about this show. There is nothing, I have nothing critical to say about it, which for you me, it's kind of a rarity. Nothing negative to say. It was an awesome night. It was outside. It was probably around 8:30 or so. They took the stage, maybe 8. I had just gotten there from a seminar I was doing. It's about 2.5 hours away from my house. It was a long haul, but I was already an hour north. Drove the extra hour and a half to get up there. Got pulled in the parking lot like literally at 7:45. Raced inside. I had just missed Troll Fest, and they were all dressed up in pink flamingo outfits, which I think is hilarious. So
That sounds fun.
I didn't see them, sadly, but I got time to basically take a leak, buy this CD, put it in my back pocket, and then go start moshing. And it was awesome. It was in a new venue for Orpheum. They moved out of this place in Ybor City, and they moved into this kind of more, I don't know, like residential. Like the parking is right next to people's homes.
That's wild.
And then you're in the back, and they have this raised stage with sweet lighting and a metal roof, and so it's a nice kind of, because before the stage was maybe only like 2 feet off the ground, whereas this is now 5 feet. It's up there. You know what I mean? It's like giving you a nice distance between you and the artist. And as this song's going, this guy in a banana suit comes up to me, and he just starts making a finger like he's circling, like he wants to start a circle pit, like, almost like demonstrating a circle down a drain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I shrugged my shoulders like, if you want to, but I wasn't going to move yet because it really was nothing happening. And then 3/4 of the way through this song, there was 6 guys, including me, probably just fucking around a little bit. And then by the end of this song, there was 20 guys just throwing around and moshing, and a couple chicks, and it really didn't stop. And it was great. It was just, typical brotherly metal pit of great songs, great band, great time.
That sounds so cool, man. I'm glad that people started getting into it, and then they kept it going. I love it.
Yeah, buddy.
You gotta keep it going if you can, and get some fresh people in there. You take a breather, jump back in.
There's so many adorable characters in there. Like there was one. The next song, by the way, they played was this Twilight Tavern, which is a fucking great song too. But there was a guy who looked like he was kind of in his first one. He had glasses on. He took his shirt off, and he just crossed his arms in front of himself. It was like to protect his core organs, and he just was like, "Arr!" And he just got to walk through, and then he got clocked a couple times, so he got out. And then I felt really bad because probably at 3/4 of the way through the set, I was just pushing everybody kind of blindly, just like moshing and pushing, and I launched this lady on the ground, like heaved probably a 20-year-old girl. I was like, I'm so sorry. I ran over and picked her up, and she was like, it's okay.
You picked her up, then you slammed her again. Harder. Get out of the fucking thing.
I threw her over the rail. So it was a great time, and I'll say this about this band. It's a weird way to say, but I'm proud of this band because you know the story of where they had the guy from Winter Sun who went on to make Winter Sun and kind of leave these guys behind. And what did they do? They didn't go out and get an all-star. What they did is they said, we're going to be a fucking team. Because I didn't realize until I saw them live, this growling vocalist is the lead guitarist. He's the front man. But the clean singing guy, like when you hear on Andromeda, which they played, that's the keyboardist.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then there's other times where there's kind of chants where the bassist is also singing. And then there's times where you got like real chant shit, and it's the bassist, the guitarist, the other guitarist, and the keyboardist all singing in harmony. So they've really taken this, they've made themselves an amazing band.
That's great, man. Yeah, they're like, we can handle it. We can all kind of contribute vocally.
Yes.
And carry this. That's cool.
And I'll say that the song I probably hit it hardest to was the third to last. They played Rum, Women, Victory. Do you remember that?
That's a good song.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good. It's the opener, right, for the last one.
Rum,
Or no, technically it's the second song.
yeah, Rum, Women, Victory. It was a total banger. And when this one came on, I was not gonna just say say this too proudly or braggadociously, but I was the king of that bit. I was just fucking tossing it, and it was a great. It's just such a great. I love this song.
It's awesome, man. Yeah, that's definitely a good song to own a pit to.
Yeah.
I've reached my pit potential at this show. I'm the boss now.
All in the name of Rum, Women, and Victory.
Women and
The
victory.
three greatest
Oh, yeah, victory.
things in life.
Yeah, this is an excellent song. Very catchy too. It's like classic, like sort of a Hailstorm type vibe. Where that kind of pirate metal. It's fun.
And they had a great mixture of super, super high-paced, frantic shit like this. And then they'd give you just a second to chill. You know what I mean? Like, just like right here, the guitar's not chilling. This song is not going to chill. But like the next song might be La La Hey, or I think the one after this was In My Sword I Trust, which you know is a banger. Everybody loves that song. But that's a fun song that everybody's kind of chanting, whereas this one is just a real freaking rape and pillage song.
Yeah, the really great, fast-paced riff too. Like it's a great fit. I can see why you
Right.
sort of dominated this.
Like this song, this singing is the keyboardist.
Yeah, I didn't do that. That's cool. That's hard to do.
It is cool. He had a great falsetto, man. It was really impressive. Again, nothing negative to say about this band.
That reminds me of like the Doors when Jim Morrison was too intoxicated to perform, so the keyboards would take over. It basically sounds very similar to Jim Morrison.
Don't worry, guy. He's struggling. I'll step in.
Yeah, I'm Min Jorson. Same guy. Pretty much same thing. Yeah.
It's Jim Richards who got knocked up.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I wanted to ask, did they play a Little Dreamer or not?
I do not believe so. I'm looking at the set list now. No, they played La La Hey though, which was a real banger, and they played Winter Storm Vigilantes, which was sweet.
That's cool. I like the Howl from that album too.
Yeah, they also played the Howl.
Oh, that's a great.
Yeah, so the proper set list was Fatherland, Twilight Tavern, Treacherous Gods, Winter Storm Vigilantes, La La Hey, The Howl, From Afar, Andromeda, Victorious, Wanderer, Rum, Women, Victory, In My Sword I Trust, and they closed out with Two of Spades.
Were you sad at all that they didn't play Run from the Prussian Tide?
Yes, that's the one I wanted to hear most, man. I love that song.
That seems like that's like your favorite one.
It is.
Most.
I will scream until my throat hurts to that song.
It's pretty legit. I just talked to Joey to see if he could get on here, but he can't because he's at work. But he did say he said Trollfest is great, and then he said that he wished they played more of the last thing. But I don't know if you had that feeling or not.
I could listen to every single song on that album live. Like if they ever did a tour with just that album, I would be the first in line. But I like all their songs, so I didn't leave going, oh man, I wish I had played more.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, it sounds like a great set for the artist.
And you know what I'd say too to that point, Phil, is the crowd. Who knows if they would have all been as into it as I would have been if they had just played the classic stuff? Because a lot of this older stuff, like La La Hey, that's such a hit, and In My Sword I Trust, and Treacherous Gods, those are big hitters that the crowd was there to see too. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't have wanted to see all of Tholastic if it hadn't gotten everybody moving the way this did.
Yeah, and it's not like a Tholastic release work,
Right.
You gotta mix it up here, so that's fair.
Now the only regret I have is Corpaclani came on after them, but I was again 2.5 hours away, and I came for Ensiferum, so it was probably around 10 o'clock. I figured I'm going to get home around 12:30 or 1, so I bolted. I did not see Corpaclani, so I'm sure that was a great set too, and the tour was Trollfest. I think a band called Nina or Nana. I didn't see any of them. Ensiferum and Corporal Klein. So I did not see that. I'd like to hear from Joe one day if he saw that.
Yeah, that's good. I forgot they were on that too. I've heard a couple songs from Corporal Klein. They're pretty cool.
They're
But I
kind
think
of,
the highlight got to be Ensiferum.
oh, in my opinion. I mean, they sound like barn metal, but also the lyrics aren't in English, so that makes it a little tougher.
Yeah. No, but they're kind of fun, I think. But yeah, that's badass, dude. I'm jealous, man. I'm bummed that I missed my chance.
Yeah.
Hopefully they come back around.
I hope so for your sake, because they really were excellent. I had very high expectations, and it was a home run. And it just, again, a really unique thing to see all the band members contributing kind of equally. And you can see, like, I'm looking at their Wikipedia page. Just if I can share this with you so you can see it too. But if you go to their Wikipedia page, you can see this kind of from 2005. They have 4 guys that are really steady. You see these bars? Petri, Marcus, Sammy, and Yana. That 4 has been on basically a 20-year run together. And
that's awesome.
It looks like the newest guy came in 2020. I'm not really sure what color that is. Pekka. That looks like, I don't know, maybe accordion and keyboard. So maybe he's the new guy that's been singing on Classic and Winter Storm Vigilante. So he's been a home run too. But these other 4 guys have been locking it down, and you can tell they got a really strong lineup. Because right now it's Marcus Tjovin is guitars and backing vocals. He's been there since 1995.
Damn.
And then Petri sings the harsh vocals from 04 to present. Sammy, bass from 04 to present. Yana, 05 to present. And then Pika, keyboards and clean vocals, 2020 to present. So these guys are on a tear, bro. That's what I'm here to tell you. These guys are on a tear.
Yeah. Could you imagine being the new guy for them? Such an established, great band. I'd be so nervous and so honored.
Well, but now look what he's done, though. I mean, he's like,
I know. Yeah,
he's up-leveled that band immediately. Those clean vocals in Thalassic turned that band into something totally new. You know what it makes me think of is when Cattle Decapitation changed their sound just as they went into that, I haven't given it to you yet, but I'm going to that Anthropocene Extinction album. They changed their vocal style just a little bit, and man, it made all the difference in the world. They went from a cool band to a fucking great band. This band too.
Yeah, there are not, in my opinion, enough bands that have that death metal growl with power metal and everything else kind of feeling, or like power metal and shit. I mean, it's such a cool blend, and I think they nailed it. They're like the architect of that sort of overlap, that pseudo genre, you know.
Yep. So it was amazing. Wish you had gone. I would love to hear how Joey feels about it. I'm sure he loved it too. And what's your next one? You got anything on the horizon? Anything coming up?
I'm plan to go see that Emperor at the Fillmore, and then I'm gonna look up some more stuff because there's a lot of stuff that plays in Manchester, so I gotta look up and see who's in or York. The venues up here get some pretty good shit. So I gotta look into what's coming up later in spring.
Look in July, because we're gonna be up there in July, so maybe we can see a show together. By the way, Sweet Maiden 2. What the album is that?
Oh, thanks. That is somewhere in time, but it's kind of tweaked to be like a Terminator.
Nice.
Terminator and Iron Maiden, pretty good band.
Yeah, dude, awesome. All right, well, hey, you're the freaking man. Until the next time, this is the Great Heavy Music Podcast. Get out there and see a show.
Hell yeah, buddy.
Bye.